Imagine living in a country where every day the sound of air raid sirens fills the streets, enemy planes roar above your city, bombs fall on homes, and the future looks darker than ever. In such a moment, a single sentence can change the destiny of a nation. That sentence came from Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of Britain, in the darkest days of World War II. "We shall never surrender." This was not just a slogan. It became the heartbeat of a nation. Churchill's words saved Britain from collapse. But what is the story behind this quote? What circumstances led him to say it? And why has it remained one of the most powerful lines in history? It was 1940. Europe was burning in the flames of war. Hitler's Nazi army was sweeping across the continent with terrifying speed. Poland had fallen. France was collapsing. Britain stood alone. The British people lived in constant fear. Every night, sirens warned of incoming bombers. Every day, news of destroyed cities spread despair. Many believed Britain could not withstand the German war machine. And in this moment of crisis, Winston Churchill became Prime Minister. Churchill was a complex figure. He had faced political failures and ridicule throughout his career. Many thought of him as stubborn, unpredictable, even reckless. Yet, he had one quality that mattered most in that moment: an unshakable belief in resistance. He believed that even if Britain stood alone, it must fight to the last breath. His weapon was not just the army, it was his words. On June 4, 1940, Churchill stood before the House of Commons. He spoke of the dire situation, the threat of invasion, and the uncertain future. Then he delivered the line that would echo through history: "We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets, we shall never surrender." This was more than a speech. It was a vow, a promise to the people that Britain would never bow to tyranny. Soldiers repeated the words in the trenches. Families whispered them in bomb shelters. Children learned them in schools. The quote became a national anthem of defiance. Even as London burned under German bombs, the people clung to Churchill's words. They believed that if their leader refused to surrender, they too could endure. At the same time, the Dunkirk evacuation was underway. Thousands of British and French soldiers were trapped on the beaches, facing annihilation. Churchill knew that if they were lost, Britain's army would be crippled, yet he still insisted on resistance. He even declared that if the army fell, ordinary citizens must fight with whatever they had: sticks, stones, or kitchen knives. This was not empty rhetoric. It was the mindset of a leader who understood that survival depended on courage. Churchill believed that words could be weapons. He knew history. He knew that nations live and die by hope. "We shall never surrender" was not just a political statement. It was a philosophy of life. That quote carried Britain through the Blitz, through years of hardship, until allies joined the fight. It became one of the most famous lines in history, proof that language can shape destiny. Churchill's words remind us that in the darkest hours, resistance and hope can change the course of history. In Britain's darkest hour, Winston Churchill lit a flame with a single sentence: "We shall never surrender." It was more than a promise. It was a lifeline. And it still reminds us today that in the hardest moments, courage and hope can rewrite the future. Do you believe that even now, a single sentence can change the world? If you enjoyed this story, please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. This channel is dedicated to exploring powerful moments in history and the words that change the world. Your support helps us keep bringing these stories to life.